So this video is a special one because this is now you and me. I really appreciate. I want to take the time to make sure I emphasize this enough that I really appreciate you signing up with your email, because I tell you this, I hate giving my email out because I hate being spammed with garbage. So rest assured, your email is with me. It goes nowhere else. So that said, why did you give me the email? You did because you want to know the 10 principles of leadership. Now, every leader will eventually find their way. But I believe your foundation, what your development is built on, is best when you have the proper foundation. That said, let me just remind you, this is Leadership with Mike, and here I help managers become leaders, and I'm doing that with no nonsense sense. And I'm sure by now that makes sense. I hope. So let's get into it. Principle number 1. Leadership, it's a behavior. It is not a title. It is something that you are. It is something that you act upon. Your boss can't come to you and say, today, oh, you're a leader. That's not how it works. The people that work around you, by working with you, by talking with you, they will see how you're a leader. Now, to be a manager, to be a supervisor, to be a boss, yes, that's a title that's given. But leadership, like I said, that is something that it comes from within. It kind of sounds a little cheesy when I said that like that, but it is. Leadership comes from within. It's nothing external. Principle number 2, leaders know that they need to be the example. They know that if they don't want gossip in their office, they will never be caught gossiping. They set the example. If they want respect and courtesy to be commonplace in the office, you will always see them being respectful, being courteous, minding their manners. Whatever they feel is at their core, that is how they will act. By setting the example, people will just genuinely fall into place because this is how it operates. If you've ever worked for a bad boss, so to speak, you know the traits, you know the things that you hate about them. Those, and a true leader, those won't come through. That's not who they are at their core. They're going to lead by example, and people will follow. Principle number 3, a leader will choose to make an impact. You can be given your job. You can, coffee break. You can be given a position. You can come in and you can just do your job, get in and get out. But leaders want to leave a positive impact. I worked for one gentleman who came into the airport before he was there, it was a shit show. And any general manager that kind of was there before him, totally irrelevant. Came in, did their job, I wouldn't even say earn their paycheck, but they got their paycheck. But this guy, he had a military background. He had been trained to be a leader, and his whole mentality was to leave a positive impact. He only worked with us for less than a year, and he had the absolute most impact that any employee at that airport has had on the company. How did he do it? He chose to come into a place where nobody really wanted to be there. Nobody really got along with management, and management didn't get along with the employees, but he chose to wedge himself in there and make an impact. He started pizza parties. Listen, we're all grown-ass men, but I ain't walking away from no pizza party. He started getting staff events, baseball tournaments, basketball tournaments, started celebrating milestones of somebody's career, really just making people feel like they're part of a team. And that was his impact that he left, his legacy almost. Principle number 4, a leader will focus on their vision, not the paycheck. Now, if you're just getting started out, you're going to take whatever management or leadership position you can get. I understand. But in your heart of hearts, in your mind's eye, whatever you want to call it, there's an end goal. There's a vision that you have of yourself. It may be hard, and I'm looking at myself right now. I've got this vision of a fantastic YouTube channel that I'm able to develop. I'm able to build relationships with people all around the world, but I have to focus on the vision. And as hard as it is, I'm not going to focus on the money. As I was saying, a leader will focus on what their vision is, not what the paycheck is. If your vision says that you're going to run the best pet store in the county, and somebody comes here in a factory management position paying you 3 times what you could make, that's not your vision. Be a leader, be true to yourself, and follow your vision, and do what you got to do to get that pet store. I don't know. I don't even have a pet. Principle number 5, they act. They don't talk. This kind of ties into number 2 with behavior, but it's act. Do what you say you're going to do. Don't just chirp about it. Talk is cheap. Take action. Have a plan, have your vision, and move towards that with a purpose. It's very easy to sit back at your desk and say, oh, you need to be doing this. No, don't be coming in late. And then you come in a half hour late, an hour late, whenever you feel like it. That is not an action that will gain you the respect of a leader. By telling people means nothing. Showing, that's where the money is. Principle number 6 is flexibility. But it's flexibility in your behavior, not your values. In terms of being at work as a leader, let's say there's a no late policy. You have the ability to be flexible on that, right? But if your values say there is a 0 tolerance for racism, that's a value. That's not a behavior. So a true leader can be flexible on behaviors of themselves and others. But their values are the cornerstones of who you are. Period. No negotiating. Principle number 7. A true leader, a real leader, realizes that it's people first. Listen, if you can't get people to follow you, are you a leader? Who are you leading? It's like me saying, I'm a leader of this studio right here. I ain't got nobody following me. You need people, and true leaders understand that, and understand with people, we're all crazy. We've all got drama. We've all got things that we got to work on. And a leader helps gather. They get their ducks in a row. I'm not saying that your employees are ducks, but leaders just know how to get things done because they realize they're dealing with people. Theories and protocols and regulations, yes, they're black and white. People are crazy. Okay? Leaders know that people are crazy. Principle number 8. This is one of my favorites because I believe it's one of the harder things to do. A leader will own mistakes. As hard as it can be to say, I messed up. That one was on me. The amount of respect and trust you will earn from those around you, and especially if somebody on your team made the mistake and they see you own it, because at the end of the day, you are the leader. You are the one that's pushing forward. I can't even tell you the magnitude that owning the mistake can have for you, have for your team and your future. It's hard. It's not easy because you're going to take some lumps, but it's a principle. Own your mistakes. Now, principle number 9, leaders understand their strength in numbers. Now, what does that mean? What that means is you understand that when you get your team working together, focused together with a common goal, a common focus, a common enemy, whatever you want to call it, the ability of your team to step up and take you and your vision where you see it going, that's where the power is. You can only do so much on your own. You need the people with you to help accomplish anything that you're trying to do in a leadership magnitude. There are projects, of course, you can handle it on your own. But when you're in a team environment, all your muscle, it's in that team. Principle number 10. This is I guess this is my favorite now that I think about it. Always grow. If you're not growing, I'm not going to say you're dying, but you're definitely leaving room for somebody to come to replace you. And if you're not growing, what are you doing? Right? You're a leader. You naturally should want to better yourself, increase your knowledge, skills in areas that are focused on the work you're doing, but also in other areas. Always be learning. I'm not saying you have to go to university. You don't need to go to get official documentation, but pick up a book. Learn something online. Take an online course. Always do something to expand your mind, because you never know when some useless gem of information is going to be key. Now listen, there are plenty of other things that you need to know about leadership. Trust me, I am still growing. I am still learning like every day. But I'm hoping that these 10 principles are enough for you to start to focus on, to read up on, to think about for yourself, and start building your foundation as a leader. That said, you can check out this video. It's something you might be interested in. I also have a playlist here for all you new guys and gals. I'm going to grab my coffee and I'm going to see you over there. Again, thank you for trusting me with your email. I truly appreciate it. Let me get my coffee and let me see you over in the next video. Ciao.